Wayne and Tanis can now start betting because off to Vancouver Rosie's heading. Cidiots fall for deception at Ron and Dax's reception because the Hicks don't fight at weddings.
It's Thirsty Thursday, and that means we are once again hanging out at the produce stand, the podcast paying tribute to the great Canadian show Letterkenny. Now, I know what you're thinking. There are many other podcasts about Letterkenny out there, but this one is only 50% Cidiot. I'm Al, your host, and joining me in the room...
That was a pure shot.
As always, is the lovely Tanya. And online, we have Squirrely Matt and the venerable Victor.
Venerable. That's a dictionary word, right?
Venereal?
No, not venereal. Venerable.
Venereal.
Oh, man.
We've been there before.
Oh, venereal.
How are you now?
All right. Tonight's lineup is Tanya, Al, Victor, Matt. Tanya, how's your week?
Busy. Busy. I had a lot of computer issues this week, so that never makes for a good week. Finally got a new computer. So hopefully
a new used computer.
Computer.
Your company is so cheap. They gave her they replaced her 20-year-old laptop with a 10-year-old laptop.
Let's not exaggerate. It was 10 and they replaced it with a 6. So it's getting better.
Unbelievable.
So hopefully my problems with glitches is behind me.
And one of your USB ports already doesn't work. I mean, you're not starting off. It's not an auspicious start.
It's a security feature.
Oh man, yeah. No, it wasn't turned off. It doesn't work.
Trying to stop plugging in your peripherals.
Oh my God.
Oh my.
Your flashlight. Do they come in USB powered? No.
Where did that come from? Flashlight.
What does the power do?
I don't know. It lights it up. My week's been really long. Work's been just stupid. That the Danny Ellis interview seems like so long ago, and it was only this Monday. I swear to God, what a week. So I've asked my co-hosts here if they can pick me up tonight because I feel like I'm going to run out of gas halfway through. Let's hope not, but want to make sure that you guys have my back. Victor,
I got a case of beer, so I'm good.
Yeah, Victor, how was your week?
You know, you'd think I'd be ready for this question by now after all this time. Like, I had a week to prepare. So I was watching the hockey game just before the podcast. And it wasn't a Leaf game because that one's about to start.
Mm-hmm.
But it was the New Jersey Devils. And they got completely destroyed by the Rangers. What are you going to do? Anyway, I kind of lost interest halfway through the second period. So I said, I'm just going to lie down on the couch and, get comfortable. I fell asleep. And then I realized I had a half-eaten pie that I started to eat while I was watching the game. And then I had this podcast. So then I have to quickly finish the pie before the podcast. So that's really what's on my mind right now.
The pie?
So I feel, yeah.
What kind of pie was it?
It was a homemade apple pie.
Oh, that's good. That sounds good. All right. Did you have some ice cream with it?
It's been a long time.
I was going to have ice cream with it, but I was concerned that the ice cream would melt, and I would have been right because I fell asleep. So anyway,
maybe the ice cream would have saved you from falling asleep.
But I'm going to have some ice cream after the podcast because the Leafs are still going to be halfway through the second period, so it's going to be a fun little. You're
going to join the post game show on Discord with for a bit. We had like 6 people on last week. It was pretty good.
Yeah, because usually I go right to bed, but now since the Leaf game is going to be on, maybe I'll join.
Yeah, and by the way, so we've now got this new structure where we do a pre-game for our patrons. We do the regular podcast for the people for everyone else, and then the post game happens on Discord for the D-gens who stay up too late.
Oh, cool.
So
nice.
We're going to try that out for a while. So last week it was pretty good. We had 6 people on. It was a lot of fun, and we got
I don't know how you get through the next day.
Very carefully. Matt, how's your week?
I'm just been watching a bucket all week. It's been fun.
Bucket?
A bucket.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, your beer. That's right. Your first batch.
Yeah.
Well, hold on.
It's just like,
Oh, I thought like Buckethead, the guitar player.
no, I'm just
I
literally
was
staring at a
thinking
bucket.
like life bucket, like what you want to do on your bucket list.
Oh, you got deep. You went deep with that. I like it. I like it.
Matt's not that deep. So hold on.
Your expectations are way too high for me.
Does staring at the bucket make it brew faster though?
No, it just makes me buy more other beer. Is
it a glass bucket that you can at least see what's going on inside?
No. So that's actually funny.
So what the fuck are you looking at?
So really you're just looking at a jug that you can't see through.
So it's funny you said everything that was just said, because all of those are why I'm staring at this thing. Why? One, is it beer yet? Two, what is going on inside? I can't see, so it's driving me crazy.
Hey, Victor, it's Schrodinger's beer.
That's right.
Yeah. And the only thing I have is this little airlock on top that bubbles and lets, I think, the CO2 out or something. And I watch that. I'm like, oh, it's bubbling faster today. That's a good thing. Then it slowed down. I'm like, does that mean it's almost done? So I'm figuring this shit out. And I've also been looking online, trying to find more supplies, because this is a habit or a hobby that's going to quickly become an obsessive habit.
Oh, man.
So I need more of them. And you're right. I need clear ones, because I am dying to see what's going on inside.
But maybe
beast.
clear, it doesn't ferment as well with the clear. Because, I mean, there's a reason why beer bottles aren't like clear, or most beer isn't clear glass, right? Because it could ruin the beer.
Well, yeah, you get the glass carboys and the demi-johns that come with like this casing around.
You've lost me. I don't know what any of that means.
Yeah, they're just all other forms of bucket, only glass. So, I mean, that's been my week, staring at a bucket. And then since I couldn't have that, I keep buying more beer. I've been finding other local breweries. I had a 2-4 arrive on Monday, and then a deal popped up online, so I bought another one that arrived today.
Oh my god! Wait a minute, but you just finished saying that Jen doesn't let you spend money on things.
Well, beer. She bought me the beer kit. And her answer was,
so she pre-signed for any other purchases that are related to that kit. Then is basically what you're saying.
Yes. It's research. It's research and development is what it is.
Man.
Research and development.
All right. Well, I just want to give a quick plug to our interview on Monday with Dani Ellis. It was a good time. She gave us a lot of great insight, a lot of great stuff, good stories. It's been on our Patreon page now for since Monday. And it'll be coming out on our regular feed next Monday. So looking forward to everyone hearing that. And hopefully we can hear, if you like what you heard, let us know and drop us a comment. And speaking of Patreon, we do want to welcome a new patron, Adrian Beck Oliver. Thank you very much for your support. I'll be reaching out to see if and when you'd like to join us as a panelist on our podcast. And speaking of support, we have 15 new Twitter followers this week. So welcome to Connect the Dots, Sean Neelan from Denver, Colorado, Amy Lee, Mo, Fenris Ulfer Gaming from Sydney, New South Wales, Kevin Facemeyer, the Shorzy, we're going to talk about him a little later, Hutch from Green Hill, Alabama, Harrison Bolgren, Sam Camantha from Spokane, Washington. Some of these names seem made up. Princess Kate from Georgia, USA. Pool Hall Junkie from Indiana. Paul J. Levesque. Rock of the Arts from Madison, Wisconsin. And Mushy Face from Vancouver. Thank you all for following and hopefully listening.
I miss pool halls.
Actually, I do too.
Well, don't bore us. Get to the chorus.
Last week, we had our season 4 recap episode with our buddy Dean Giles from the How Are You Now podcast. We all agreed that the season was a fresh. According to our highly scientific Twitter poll, we were right. 97.5% of you agreed, and 2.5% of you gave it a clearance. No one gave it a compost, and why should they? It was a brilliant season. This week we kick off our 5th season with a recap and review of the first episode of season 5. We don't fight at weddings. Tanya, have you done your homework?
Yes.
I've done my homework. Victor, have you done your homework?
I have, but it's a week old, so hopefully my memory won't fail me.
That's
right.
But he still has the unicorn background, so there's
I'm still hopeful.
There's that.
You haven't seen it since last week, so it may not be fresh on your mind anymore.
No, he's ready to review episode 2.
Yeah.
That's right.
Matt, have you done your homework?
Hard yes.
All right.
That was your chance to say, wasn't it episode 4?
Oh yeah.
Remember the glitch there?
Yes, the glitch. That's what we're gonna call it. My Ron Burgundy moment. I'll read anything that's put in front of me, even if it's wrong.
Even if it's wrong?
Yeah. All right. We start with the cold open. The cold open picks up where we left off at the end of season 4 at the Great Day for Thunder Bay party. The fireworks are going off and the Hicks are admiring them. They tip their hats off to Tanis, who has outdone herself. Wayne wonders where she is and looks over to the barn where she's standing at the door having a smoke. She invites him to join her. Wayne takes one final drag and then...
Well, Tanis, the
Tough gal.
Homewrecker.
Rocket. Sniper.
Alpha female.
Temptress.
A bit rough around the edges.
tried to lure you into the barn for a...
Round of the bases.
Homewrecking.
Slam. Crash.
Roll in the hay.
Lay in the biblical sense.
Toe curl.
And the truth is, you kind of wanted to...
Pat heavily.
Wreck your home.
Rack up a kill. Score a takedown.
Have the best sex of your life.
Fondle.
Become one.
But you didn't. Because that's not what a...
Good old boy.
Real man.
Straight shooter. Team player.
Seriously?
God-fearing gentleman.
Stand-up guy.
does. On the contrary,
Good old boy.
Real man.
Straight shooter. Team player.
Pussy.
God-fearing gentleman.
Stands-up guy.
doesn't cheat. So while you walk towards the barn for what one would assume was a...
Poke.
Terrible fucking idea.
Easy kill. Quick mash.
Whatever you're into, baby.
Lustful encounter.
Not a character's undertaken.
You didn't.
Instead, Wayne got into the truck and drove off to Rosie's because she's a real pretty gal. So fucking cute. A 10, a dime, a book reader. That was from Tanis. A goddess and a fine woman. Wayne says you can't be with one woman and have feelings for another. He's of the opinion that cheaters are in the wrong. Katie says like 95% in the wrong. Bad or seduced fair and square, according to Tanis. Antagonized or likely a good person who just made some mistake, and you shouldn't very well go down that road. So,
Here's the thing.
Okay, you go. No, you go. Okay, I'll go.
I'm going to move to the city.
You're going to move to the city.
I'm going to move to the city.
What city?
Vancouver?
Well, you won't get many random snowy summer nights like this in Vancouver.
Nope.
So what's in Vancouver?
Pitbull rescue? I'm tired of reading about it every day. I want to help.
You're a great fucking gal, Rosie.
You're a great fucking dude, Wayne.
When'll I see you?
When you see me.
Good enough.
And that's what a get-out-of-jail-free card looks like.
Boy, howdy.
Well, I should say.
Sick, buddy. Sick, bro.
Can we bang now?
Wondrous.
I likes Monopoly.
so as for Tanis, Wayne says they're going to give it the old college try. Good enough. And you cut to the theme. All right. That's the cold open for the first episode of season 5. Tanya, what did you think?
I knew it. I knew that Wayne wouldn't cheat. I knew it. I called it. I called it in the last, because that question came up.
Yep. Well, it was.
Do you think he went?
It was a whole premise of the cliffhanger. So,
Do you
yes.
think he went? And no, I didn't. And I was right. And I feel good about that. And I feel good about Wayne.
Okay.
And I love the one-liners. I thought it was a great cold open. And I love Tanis and that she thinks that she is the alpha female. And I think she is the alpha. And I think that's awesome. Love it. It was good.
Yeah, I agree. It was a lot of fun. And I perfect. All the lines given by each character were perfect for that character. Katie being the one who hates on Tanis because she's a potential homewrecker. Tanis saying, no, I'm I seduced him fair and square. I think it's okay. And Squirrely Dan being the one who's kind of always down the middle, like, well, I'm sure anyone who cheats has just made a mistake and regrets it or whatever. One production note I have here, Wayne's line when he says, "You don't get many random snowy nights in Vancouver," is hilarious because often when they record these episodes, it's not in the season that they're claiming to be in. And obviously that scene there was supposed to be in the summer, but there was snow in the shot. Yeah. And so when he says that, that's totally reaction to whatever the weather was doing that night when they were shooting. So they're probably shooting in an early spring or whatever for that. And that was really funny. So yeah, I loved it. It was a great, solid cold open. No alphabet Olympics, but I think it was still really well done. Victor?
Yeah, same. Not much to add except that not sure why Stuart was playing Glenn's role in this one, because he kept making references to God-fearing men and all that stuff. So I didn't really get that, but everything else was quite fitting and it was very well done.
Well, maybe that was originally meant for Glenn, but he wasn't available or something. That's an interesting catch. I didn't even think of that. Matt?
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty much aligned with all of you. I thought it was great. I liked the dialogue. I thought it was very characteristic of each person. In the and revealing in as well. I mean, the one thing that throws me off knowing where the episode then goes is Tanya. I'm 100% with you. I did not. I knew Wayne wouldn't do it. He's pretty solid. He has strong morals. He's loyal. But even Tanis, as much as I love Tanis, her responses through the whole was kind of like she didn't give a shit. She's like, I don't care about the Rosie experience. She's like, why would you not? Like it's complete sort of polar opposite to Wayne's decision. And it's I mean, I love Tanis, but it's very shocking that they go that. So I mean, I'm just be curious to get deeper in their character on that one. Like if knowing how strongly Wayne feels about things like that, and Tanis is very opposite in this particular scenario.
Well, you also have to wonder if it was all about the catch for Tanis, whether now that Wayne is available, if the idea of being with him is kind of less interesting now.
Yeah. Well
yeah. Plus, it's not for us watching this for the first time, not knowing what will happen. This is not necessarily the beginning of some romantic relationship.
No.
This could be just a roll in the hay and off you go.
Right.
Well, yeah. If you think back to, I think it was season 1 or season 2, they already had that first roll in the hay. So this
they have chemistry.
They have well, obviously they have chemistry.
Well, they have the same views on steaks.
Yeah.
Speaking of steaks, we had steaks, and I had to bring out that Montreal steak spice, and I had to give a nod to the show for that one.
Yeah.
And look at Alan. Yeah.
She sounded like Squirrely Dan when he said, and we should talk about Montreal steak spice. I had a point. Oh, yeah. If you're in the camp of opposites attract, then obviously Wayne and Tanis make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Wayne and Rosie were very much alike. And obviously, even like through, you could tell from that breakup,
right?
The most amicable breakup in the history of breakups, right? They were very much alike. And so maybe that caused for a lack of spark there or something. Who knows?
Yeah. But you could be spot on. I mean, you're right. It's a really good point. That's, I mean, it just caught me because I'm totally with Tanya. That's Wayne's personality.
Yep.
And Tanis is very much on the other side of the spectrum from that one. And it's, but no, I mean, it works too, but I thought that was interesting.
Yeah. All right, coming out of the theme, scene 1 in the farmhouse kitchen, the Hicks are talking about a non-summer wedding for once, and they're attending. The guys think it's unfair that during summer weddings, women get to wear breezy summer dresses while the men are stuck being sweaty and sticky in the 3-piece wool suit. It can get quite pongies down there.
Yeah, it can get a bit moist.
Nope.
Who do you think's going to moist the Stanley Cup this year, Katie? I'm thinking Calgary.
I swear to fucking Christ.
Oh, do you never see Moist Story? Or Moist Story 2, starring Tim Allen and Tom Hanks? You out of your fucking mind?
I will fight you.
We don't fight at weddings.
And that's the first time we hear that tagline, but not the last. Katie asks if Derry is going to be wearing his dad's suit. That's affirmative. He got it for his grade 13 semi-formal from the Letterkenny op shop. I had to look that up. I didn't know what op shop meant. So an op shop or opportunity shop is just another name for a thrift store. Have you ever heard of a thrift store being called an op shop?
No.
Never.
Yeah.
It's full of opportunity.
I guess. I don't know. Katie says she prefers the Sally Ann, which is another name for the Salvation Army. I didn't know that one either.
Oh, come on. You didn't know that?
Sally Ann? No, I didn't.
Sally Ann. Okay, that's been around for a long time.
Well, I know Salvation Army's been around.
No, Sally Ann. No, absolutely.
I feel like I've heard Sally Ann before, but not knowing what it was about. Now I know. I had to look it up.
So on that same topic, just really quickly, if I said crappy tire to you,
it's
Canadian Tire.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. So
that's a whole different ballgame.
But no. But sorry, the reason and I'm bringing this up because there was clearly some dispute there on the fact that we hadn't heard Sally Ann. I hadn't heard that, and this came up the other day. Was my sister-in-law used the term crappy tire to someone? And for anyone who's not Canadian, it's Canadian Tire. It's our sort of hardware, auto mechanic, everything.
They sell everything there. Yeah.
It's pretty great, but we call it crappy tires, kind of a nickname. But someone didn't know when my sister-in-law said it to someone, they're like, what the hell is crappy tire? And she was blown away. because that is just common terminology to me.
Unless the person questioning didn't know what Canadian Tire was either, and then it would be
possible.
No, if you say Sally Ann to my parents,
I have no doubt.
They absolutely will 100% say Salvation Army.
Yeah. Interesting. I don't know if it was another podcast I was listening to or a thread on Twitter that I was reading. I'm getting old now. I don't remember this shit. But somebody posed the question, what do you and your friends what are nicknames you have for McDonald's? And there was a bunch of different ones there. And for us, it's always been McYaks. I don't know about you guys. Or McD's. McD's or McYaks. Do you guys have any others? No? Yeah, there was some interesting ones that I can't remember anymore, but it brought to mind that, like there's some of these nicknames.
There's
there's
like Tim Hortons says Tim's.
Yeah. Some of these are regional, right? So, but the op shop is definitely not one that I'd ever heard of before.
I haven't heard that one.
All right, moving on. Katie says she prefers the Sally Ann, which is another nickname for the Salvation Army, another chain of thrift stores. I don't know. The Salvation Army might be a Canadian. I think it's only Canada only, so the U.S. may not have heard of it.
Maybe not.
The Hicks go on a jag about how dad Derry's suit is.
You wanna what? That suit is so dead. The last time you wore it told me the Dire Straits were the greatest band of all time.
That suit is so dad. I ate all the lunch meat on the way home from the grocery store.
That suit is so dad. It owns a VHS copy of The Hunts for Red October.
Oh, I love that.
I was picturing the suit to be one of those blue ones with the ruffles down the side.
Yeah.
I'm kind of glad they didn't go there, but that's kind of what I
think the one that he wore is even better. But anyway, we'll get to that.
I take issue with the Dire Straits comment, but I agree with it.
I take issue with the Hunt for Red October comment. I love that movie. But anyway.
I take issue with the fact that they're saying it's so dad. Yeah. I thought they were saying it's so dead.
Well,
I thought so too.
When Wayne said it, it sounds like he says dead, but I think that's his.
No.
His,
I knew they were, you know.
Yeah, because we also had the subtitles on. Squirrely Dan.
It's just so your movie is old. Dire Straits are timeless. So there's a difference.
My movie is actually younger than the Dire Straits there, buddy. So anyway, Squirrely Dan.
Throw down.
Fight.
We don't fight at weddings.
Your main actor is no more, but the Dire Straits are still going.
Gosh.
What, Alec Baldwin? Come on.
No, that's what's his name?
Hunt for Red October is Alec Baldwin.
He's the greatest actor in the world.
Oh, I thought it's what's his name? That British guy, the original Bond.
The original Bond. Oh, well, he's in it too. They're both in it. Yeah, Sean Connery.
Yeah, well, that's who Sean Connery is who I think about.
Oh, well, they're both in it.
That'd be my go-to.
Squirrely Dan is going to rock to cold rock a kilt to the wedding, like his grandpa's and his grandpa's before him. A little class, a little sass, and a lot of ass in the tartan's garments. Wayne will be wearing one of only 2 suits that he owns because 2 will do you. One for weddings and one for funerals. A good suit will last you the rest of your life if you take good care of it. I beg to differ.
You know what? That made me laugh and then remember back to going to Portugal. Mm-hmm. Al's family goes to Portugal used to go quite often. Yeah. And always had to have a suit because you never knew what was going to happen. And sure enough, the first time I went, there was a funeral. Yeah. And I'm like, are you freaking kidding?
No, you got to bring a suit.
Really?
Yeah.
How does this happen?
So I a good suit will last you the rest of your life. Only if you take good care of yourself, because I got to say, there's no way I can fit in any suit I wore in my 20s.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah, that's not the suit's fault.
No, exactly.
And admittingly, I do not own a suit.
Well, you know what? Actually, I got a cop to it. I don't either anymore. My last suit was like,
yeah. But I mean, we talk about taking care of yourself. Mm-hmm. I mean, I used to be about 30, 35 pounds heavier than I am now. Mm-hmm. And I had 2 suits at the time, mm-hmm. and then I stripped away that weight. So I threw away like 90% of my wardrobe, and suits went with it. And I've just never replaced it because I haven't had a need for it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
You may never have a need for it again.
Yeah, exactly.
I was going to say, I don't think suits are what they were before. Like even the last Christmas party that you guys had, mm-hmm. like I saw so many women in running shoes, and I thought, holy crap, where did the stilettos go?
Comfortable is the new chic.
Yeah,
they're wearing like these evening dresses, but then they're wearing white tennis shoes or whatever.
I don't think I've seen that.
Running shoes was
at the last holiday party, there was a lot of that. I mean, I think they come in with stilettos, but then they quickly change.
Yeah.
They do the red carpet appearance in stilettos, and then when the dancing starts, they change to Nikes.
I think the fancy is the way of the past.
Yeah. Let's see. Where did I leave off? Oh, I've lost. Yeah, thanks. Here we go. The Hicks question Wayne about other times he might need a suit.
What would you wear for a court appearance?
I've never been arrested.
What would you wear to a job interviews?
Only ever had one job.
Would you wear to a bar mitzvah?
Not Jewish.
Bat mitzvahs?
Still not Jewish.
I love that the only 4 occasions they can come up with is being arrested, job interview, and then both the other ones are Jewish ceremonies. Like, that's it. That's the only time.
And I mean, the one thing I talk about, clearly they need a brittle star in this show because, I mean, how has he not been arrested? This is the toughest guy in Letterkenny who knocks people out on the regular. Is there no law enforcement around here?
No, absolutely.
Or there may be a bylaw that you're allowed to
Brittle
do that.
star will never be
Like it's like concealed carry law. Like you're allowed to carry your fist.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's why when he said that he wanted to be a OPP officer on the show, I'm like, are you not paying attention? Like, there's no law enforcement on this show.
The law is.
Well, I think that's his point.
Yeah,
He's like,
Wayne is the law. I am the law. Katie,
that was bad.
Katie says there are going to be a lot of Cidiots at this wedding. Shut up. It's what the Hicks call folks from the city.
Oh,
you didn't like my Sylvester Stallone?
No, I loved it because I knew what it was, but it was terrible. Continue on.
All right. Katie mentions Cidiots will be at the wedding. This put Wayne in a bad mood.
Fucking hate Cidiots. They're always going on about how we're so fucking mudding in our fucking Hemis.
Fucking riding our sleds down to a fucking pit party, bod.
Giving her tits.
I was climbing the ladder up the haymow behind your brother and ripped a fart that sounded like a creaky door open inside a hot air balloon.
But we do not fight at weddings.
No. But you can't get laid if you're keen to. Sexy just wafts around at weddings. Plenty of opportunities for people looking to do some yesing.
A little bit of wedding spreading.
A little bit of matrimonies and hide the balonies.
Oh, sure. Maybe some exchanging of rings and rubbing of things.
Clear eyes, full Windsors.
Can't lose.
All right. Next
Clear
scene.
eyes, full wind. What?
Full Windsors.
What's that?
A tie.
Yeah, it's a knot
Full
for
Windsors? Gotcha.
for a
Clear
necktie.
eyes, full wind. Okay, gotcha. Go.
Next scene at the banquet hall for the wedding. We find out that the happy couple are none other than Ron and Dax from the gym. Now, did anyone notice that actually at the entrance of the banquet hall it says congratulations, Dax or Ron and Daryl? I think. So is Dax short for Daryl?
I didn't notice.
I didn't catch that at all.
Yeah, no. I saw that. I'm like, that's weird.
Did you pause and look at it again just to make sure you weren't seeing things?
Yeah, I may have been drinking that day. I don't know. I'll have to go back, but I swear that's what I saw. Sleep deprivation. This week's been one of those weeks. Anyway, so yeah, it's Ron and Dax's wedding. And we start off with a music montage as the Hicks make their slow motion entrance, what they do best, beginning with Katie looking very sexy in a black dress, followed by Squirrely Dan in full Scottish attire. Next is Derry in his classic brown dad suit from Simpsons. And then followed by a smoking hot Tanis in red, followed closely behind by Wayne in his wedding suit, always buttoning up his cuffs. So did you guys notice it was a Simpsons suit? Tanya, you noticed because you said it right away. It's like, oh, look, it's from Simpsons.
Was that what it said on it? I know they did the zoom. I didn't actually catch the words.
Yeah.
I was looking.
He opens his jacket up and it says it has the label in.
So I found that hilarious.
Yeah.
My wife says I'm blind every day, so maybe that's the problem.
As they stand around their table, Tanis comments that Wayne cleans up well. And Wayne responds that he wouldn't kick Tanis out of bed for eating crackers. Katie comments on the top shelf ceremony. Short, sweet, and not too much God. Derry says he's told God doesn't have too much time for gays these days. So, production note, other than Tanis's abortion in season 2, this is probably the second most blatant kind of social statement they've made. Like, that isn't just, story related. They actually come out and say it. Yeah. Because,
Daryl said it?
Yeah, Derry says God doesn't have much time for gays these days. Like, that's pretty...
I missed that.
Unless your name is Glenn.
Yeah, well, it's pretty on the nose for this show, right? Like they'll make those statements, but they won't actually say them.
Yeah, but is it for Glenn? Because Glenn backed down when he had an opportunity to be in that whatever those what were they called?
The lifestyle, the
McMurrays, that's it. McMurrays, whatever the McMurrays were into, Glenn was like, and pass. Like he was out.
No, I know, but
so I think he's talk, but not action.
Yeah.
No, but that's not but that has nothing to do with being gay or not gay. That's a whole separate.
Yeah.
That's a whole separate thing.
Yeah, remember Victor's an expert on this, so we'll defer to him. Squirrely
he runs
Dan.
a swinging podcast on the side.
Yeah, apparently. Squirrely Dan is proud of Ron and Dax for getting married. Derry wonders what it must be like.
I wonder what that must be like.
What, getting hitched?
Being into dudes. I've got so many questions.
Yeah, now I want to hear exactly 0 of them.
Okay, so like, what if you're attracted to somebody with the same name as you? Is it like kind of fun? Really fucking weird.
You'd be fucking weird.
Quite likely. That's never happened to me. Guess the closest I ever came to it was almost doing it with a gal named Cheryl.
Yeah, I suppose it would kind of be like the time I almost hooked up with a gal who had the same names as my grandma's.
Oh, that'd be fucking off-putting.
It was. It was distracting at inappropriate times with Ruth.
Oh, it was just a goddamn way I could do it with a Katie.
Ew.
Or a Kate. Or a Caitlin. I guess Catherine, you'd be walking a line.
There's no way I could do it with a Wayne.
Ew.
Unless it was Gretzky. Or Rostad. Or Newton.
Katie would do it with Wayne Newton. That's quite the image. The two grooms walk up and continue the conversation.
I'd bow to the great one. I'd bend right over. I'd let Gretz get in my office behind the net. Come on, let's do it. I'd be his Yari Curry in a fucking hurry, just feeding him all night long. Promised mess I wouldn't do. I just promised a mess. I'd let Gretz leave my ass seriously McSorley. I'd let that lady bang me. That's 69 with 99 into overtime. I'd just straight up let him 99 me.
Anywho,
what's a 99?
It's just fucking while spooning.
Anyway,
that whole line of jokes about Wayne Gretzky are it's so funny, but so inside hockey that only certain people will get it. Oh yeah.
I don't think so.
The whole I promised mess I wouldn't do I wouldn't do this. That's what Wayne Gretzky says when he's crying because he's been traded, and then and just stuff like that. Like you'd only get if you were like a hockey like some of it you'd get, but some of it would be like over your head, right? So I really,
but a lot of the stuff is over people's heads anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So whether it's hockey related or not.
Oh, I know, but I really appreciated that one there because only a certain a smaller percentage of people would understand the jokes, and of that percentage of people who would understand it, how many of them would actually find them funny? I found them hilarious.
I appreciated that they explained what a 99 was.
Yeah. Katie takes Ron and Dax for some cocktails. As they leave, a couple of Cidiots walk up and start making fun of the Hicks.
Oh, g'day, lads. Did you ride your fucking sleds here?
Oh, were you fucking matting her?
Is she a cherry ride? Like, holy fuck. Just about clear part on the fucking rhubarb?
You was just gonna stand there rubbing your peckers or what?
Oh, she's fucking tits, eh? Did you give her beans, bud?
Did you give her boots, bud?
Did you give her fucking torch? Wanna get fucking smoked?
Or are you taking her easy?
If she's easy. Take her twice, bud. We'll call you Tony 2 times.
Let's do her manure.
So, Matt and Victor, since you were the two Cidiots on this podcast, shame on you.
I was going to ask, like all jokes aside, have you met Cidiots ever in kind of real life? Because I had a hard time trying to kind of think of, like, who are they talking about? Are they talking about people like who work in the financial district?
No, we're talking about anybody who lives in the city who goes to visit places up north.
Yeah.
That's straight up what it is.
But I don't get it.
No,
but if that's the case,
I get it.
I don't get it.
It's heightened, Victor, but it's kind of real. It's kind of real.
Yeah.
We have Torontonian friends.
Yeah. And they'll come up here and they'll make fun of it. I mean, again, it's heightened, right? It's like an exaggeration on it, but you get that. You get that.
Yeah, and it all comes. It's a lifestyle and almost cultural difference between those two ways of living that clash. And I mean, I like my in-laws live up north, and they make jokes about Cidiots all the time, especially with like COVID, things are shutting down. They're in a touristy area. So as soon as things open, the first thing my sister-in-law says is, oh, fuck, here come the Cidiots. Like she says that on the regular. And it's true. You live in that area and you see the difference. They come up. It's a very different atmosphere with people who aren't used to living in a more call it naturist, rustic area. They bring a different vibe to
they may
Definitely
not come and
differences.
like insult the locals or whatever verbally like that. Like that's just
or intentionally, but it happens.
But it does happen, yes.
For sure. For sure.
Yeah.
Like even when Alan and I got married, I remember the Torontonians, they were like, you guys are so young. And it was just a difference in
it's culture. It's a city culture versus small town culture for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
So after the Cidiots, Tanis wonders if the Hicks are going to do anything, but Wayne insists they don't fight at weddings. Cut to Katie and Bonnie at the bar. Katie compliments Bonnie on her dress. She got it from the op shop. Suddenly, the Cidiots converge on the girls. They hit on them mercilessly and shamelessly, bragging about their BMW and all that other stuff. Cut to the DJ booth where who else? Stuart and Rold are spinning the tunes. Connor is off to the side, sitting on the floor with his gas mask on, and Darian is standing facing the wall off to the back. Rold is trying to convince Stuart that he promised the grooms he'd play wedding songs like Brown Eyed Girl, Shout, Lean on Me, Ain't No Mountain High Enough, Mambo No. 5. Stuart looks annoyed at the thought. Then McMurray approaches the booth. He requests the chicken dance. He fucking loves that song. Stuart berates both Rold and McMurray's request. Rold goes for the controls, but Stuart stops him in his tracks with his magic choke move.
Enough! DJing is an art form. A medium in which the most prolific audio auteurs of our time can speak through. A deep connection of the soul of yourself and the gyrating asses of the great unwashed who eagerly thirst for your deafening compositions.
Like gyrating asses, but I'm pretty sure it ain't art there, bud.
Yeah, wouldn't you have to have written the songs yourself for it to be art? I'm sorry, composed?
I think the word is produced.
Right, or at least didn't download off the internet so that you can profit off of.
Yeah, you're more like an art dealer than an artiste.
Or like an art gallery curator.
Selling stolen paint.
Then you print it off the internet.
Oh, man. So does this not remind you of the conversation we had with Tanya about her paint by numbers?
It's so true. So true. So true. Okay, so I need to ask, when was the last time the chicken dance was ever played at a wedding? That would be like
the last wedding.
I was going to say probably the last wedding we were at. It's been a while.
It's been a long time.
We haven't been to a wedding in a while. We got good at saying no.
Chicken dance.
We're not going to weddings.
It's an art.
Chicken dance is dead. That song is absolutely dead.
I don't know. I don't know. It's been a while.
Song.
It's been a while.
Let's start bringing it back. We should change our theme song to the chicken dance.
I'll add it to your when World comes back and you start playing shows again, add the chicken dance to your
set the list. Macarena took over the chicken dance.
Oh God, I hate the Macarena.
They were on par at the same time.
And then the Macarena
both a disaster.
No.
I'm taking chicken dance over the Macarena any day.
100%. I'm with you, Victor, on that one. Stuart threatens Rold if he doesn't stop with the request, he's going to turn the night into a straight up blood rave. At the Cupcake Tower, cut to the Cupcake Tower. Riley and Jonesy meet up with Ron and Dax, and they congratulate them.
Good game, you fucking beauties.
Way to tape your sticks together, boys.
You two make a hot D pairing.
5-minute major and a lifetime misconduct for butt ending.
You boys enjoying yourselves?
Acting singles.
Seeing double.
Drinking triples.
Riley and Jonesy compliment Ronnie and Dax on the big city slam prospects at the reception. Ron breaks the news to Riley and Jonesy that they're not pulling tonight. These are modern city gals. They're not interested in hockey player types. Big muscles haven't been popular with the ladies since Jersey Shore. Riley and Jonesy are confused.
The only way to get any attention from the cosmopolitan college gal types is to get in touch with your inner twink.
You need to be less power forward and more power bottom.
We will get our wedding stylist to help them out.
Yes.
So we need to spruce up our look?
No.
You gotta spruce up your look.
Back at the Hicks table, Squirrely Dan talks about how Professor Tricia says that Letterkenny has developed into quite the homosexual scene, and they can likely expect a Pride's parades next springs.
I've never been to a Pride parade. What's it like?
It's like a Santa Claus parade, except instead of handing out candy, they hand out condoms.
Should probably start thinking about a name right now.
Great day for gay.
A hard gay's night.
High's Pride Shop.
And Pride Grange made of.
Pride of Chucky.
Independence Gay.
Ferris Bueller Gets Off.
Star Wars Vogue 1.
The Princess Pride.
Pride of Frankenstein.
Pride and Go Seeks.
Carlito's Gay.
Night of the Giving Head.
Lay anything.
Final Fantasy.
Third Cock from the Sun.
How Fella got his groove pack.
The gay, the earth stood still.
Eat Gay Love.
Dr. Strangelove, or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love the Bums.
Bonnie and Pride.
Oh, Bonnie McMurray.
The Cidiots come back for another round of insults.
I was absolutely.
You got those bits ready for your fucking
sorry.
ponies?
One
How many
sec.
ponies you got under your hood? You got a friggin' Hemi under there?
How many CCs is your sled?
Do you fucking pin her when you get pickled there, bud? Oh, I really fucking gave her last night.
Working hard or hardly working?
Idiots. Sorry.
I was absolutely mesmerized by Tanis in that shot because she didn't change her expression whatsoever. She gave the exact same, like she changed her words, but said it the exact same way every shot.
Yeah, but she joined in on the wordplay, which
She did.
Yeah, she fit right in with the Hicks.
She did, yeah.
Tanis asks.
So here's my issue with the Cidiots, right? So I get it. The city slickers coming up to small country and acting stupid, asking stupid questions. But I think the focus in this episode on the Cidiots isn't on that. It's about them acting like douchebags and hitting on these girls. And that's the part that for me, I didn't really get the connection of them being from the city, rather than being a certain type of people that I'm thinking, okay, who are they talking about? I'm trying to figure out who they're talking about. And so that's the connection I wasn't able to make.
You can't envision guys from the city going up to like a hick wedding thinking that they're going to score with women just for the mere fact that they're from the city and more cultured and stuff like that's
And
what
that they have money and BMWs.
I guess some really, really specific type of dumb, egotistic people, but not because they're from the city.
Yeah, but these are those people, right? They're bragging about having Beamers and stuff. These are those people.
And that's why I said like traders, right? That's like financial, like. So I'm thinking like those traders specifically, as opposed to guys from the city.
Sure.
So it's just a little thing there.
I'm with you.
Tanis asks again and again. Wayne says they don't fight at weddings. The ladies go off to take a piss. Those were Tanis's words, not mine.
I know. I love that. Sorry.
As they wait in line for the ladies' room, the Cidiots accost them once more. Bonnie and Tanis are ready to take them, but Katie restrains them and reminds them of their rule about fighting at weddings. Cut to the DJ booth. Dickens walks up with a list of his requests. Stewart calls it an act of social and musical treason. Every one of Dickens' requests is a Brooks and Dunn song, starting with the Boot Scootin' Boogie. I knew you were going to. Stewart says of all the boogies,
turn around.
Stewart says
Scootin' Boogie.
Of all the boogies, the Boot Scootin' would be the last one he'd torture everyone with.
I'll give you. It's a good one though.
What about Blame It on the Boogie
isn't.
by the Jackson 5? Boogie, oogie, oogie, a taste of honey.
Boot scooting.
A Boogie Wonderland by Earth, Wind, and Fire? Elton John Street Boogie.
This wedding needs a boogie, and it's gonna be a boot scoot.
A Born to Boogie T-Rex. Boogie Woogie Woo, Insane Clown Posse. Zip Done Boogie, T-Rex again.
Take the damn boogie and make it a boot scoot.
I am your Boogeyman KC and the Sunshine Band. I am your Boogeyman, a white zombie.
I hoped it wouldn't come to blows over a boogie, but I'll damn well go to blows for the boot scooting boogie.
How tall is that man?
He's fucking tall. Well, that and rolled short. But when he comes down to Rold's level, that was hilarious. Yeah. That was such a funny visual. I won't come to blows over boogies, but I will over boot scooting boogies. Dickens leaves the booth and McMurray shows up with his cassette copy of the Chicken Dance, which he went home to get. Oh man. Okay. Which he got out of the cassette player in his tractor. So what that tells me is it's not just a wedding song for him. It's what he listens to while he works.
Oh my God.
Think about that visual. I'm crying.
That is brilliant.
And you saw I wish I wrote it down. When he first originally mentioned the chicken dance, when he goes that little rant and be like, "A fucking chicken dance, picking out eggs and dancing fucking chicken," like just like rambling on about eggs coming out and
says they're gonna play it now or play it later. Either way, they're gonna play it or they'll die. And he walks away, drops the cassette on the mixer. Roll grabs it quickly so that Stuart doesn't get upset, and he walks away. Cut to the dessert table, where Riley and Jonesy have a bit of a makeover, and they're sipping white wine. Katie and Bonnie walk up.
What's with the super soft glassware, boys? What's with your hair?
Oh, well, scouting big city slam prospects. Don't want to risk putting a big goose egg up on the board.
Want a fan on a yawning cage, buddy?
So we bruised up our looks.
What does that mean?
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it.
How's that going for you?
Oh, it's good. We got bites.
Yeah. Well, we got like a bite.
They were 50 though.
Yeah, fair that.
Jonesy admits to taking down an older lady once. Says it was kind of fun, but it got kind of weird when she made pizza after. Riley thinks.
So random.
Oh, it gets better though. Riley thinks it's sick that she ordered pizza after sex. But Jonesy corrects him. She made pizza from scratch. He had to sit and talk while she made pizza. I love how that the thought of that just made him. Yeah. Oh man,
that was a good scene.
It was and really well played by Jonesy. That was really well done. Katie and Bonnie say they look like dandies, like pansies. The landscape might be changing, but manly men never go out of style. Okay, cut to the Hicks. Bonnie tells them that Katie got hit by one guy in a top hat.
A top hat. A guy in a top hat. You know, I'd rather take down a Cidiot than a guy in a top hat.
Oh, I don't know, Miss Katie. Some men look quite stately in a top hat. Scrooge McDuck comes to mind.
Mr. Peanut. Slash.
The guy from T-Rex.
Abe Lincoln. Uncle Pennybags from Monopoly.
Willy Wonka's.
The Cat in the Hat.
The guy from T-Rex again.
Only the Duke from Bridgerton.
Oh yeah, well this is pre-Bridgerton, or else they probably would have said him too. Yes.
There you go.
All right, enter one last time. Enter the Cidiots.
Oh, hey there, buds. Is she Emmanuel who driving a bitch stick?
You like Bud Light? We like buttholes around here.
Oh, did you get your pecker stuck in a bottle of brew? Where's your sweetie, bud? She'll leave it to your John and your John Deere.
Where's your John Queer, bud?
Wayne gets fucking irritated. Katie reminds him that they don't fight at weddings. Wayne agrees. They don't fight at weddings. And they look at each other. Cut to the bar. A couple of ladies walk up to Riley and Jonesy. A couple of ladies walk up to the bar and Riley and Jonesy appear from behind the bar. They pop up like a Muppet. They offer the women fruity cocktail drinks and try to make small talk about interior design. The women tell Riley and Jonesy that they're really missing the mark. Metrosexuality is out. They're into classic men, athletic types. Riley and Jonesy don't look like they can fix their car or sliding screen door. Riley and Jonesy try to assure them that they're actually the type of men they're looking for, but the women call them pathetic posers. Even if Riley and Jonesy were hockey players, they weren't puck bunnies. They were lacrostitutes. There had to have been a lot of high-fiving around that writing table. They grab a couple of bottles of beer and they walk off. Cut to the Cidiots at the bar. Bonnie and Katie walk up to them and ask where they're staying the night. They say they've never ridden in a BMW X3 before. They want to go for a ride back to the Cidiots Motel. Cut to the DJ booth. Stewart announces the song for the first dance, which was chosen by the grooms. The music plays. The song is called Fuck the Pain Away by the Peaches. And so begins a montage of Ron and Dax dancing along with everyone at the reception. Katie and Bonnie walking down a motel hall with the Cidiots in tow. Back to the reception, then back to the motel. Tanis is also waiting at the Cidiots room, inviting them in. The Cidiots enter the room to find Wayne, Darian, Squirrely Dan waiting for them. They try to get away, but Tanis closes the door behind them, and Wayne leads the charge. Cut back to the wedding for more dancing. Then back to the motel room as the Hicks leave the Cidiots bruised and battered. Cut back to the wedding. Ron and Dax are now slow dancing. Dickens and McMurray approach the DJ booth with shots for the skids. Katie and Bonnie start dancing with Ron and Dax. Squirrely Dan and Derry are asked to dance by the two city girls who rejected Riley and Jonesy earlier. Riley and Jonesy finally find their big city slams, a couple of older ladies. Back on the dance floor, Katie and Ron bump into Wayne and Tanis.
He's looking for trouble?
He was looking for trouble?
He was looking for trouble?
So what if we are? We don't fight at weddings.
Wouldn't dream of it, bud.
And off the pain away.
Wayne dips Tanis and Katie dips Ron, and we fade to black. And that's the episode. All right, let's start with Tanya. What did you think overall of this episode, We Don't Fight at Weddings?
I really liked it. And if you weren't sitting beside me and I had to keep a poker face, I would have laughed my ass off.
You don't have to keep a poker face.
I got to keep a poker face. I got to keep the surprise. It was a really great show from beginning to end.
Mm-hmm.
It had a lot of great funny moments. It was very enjoyable.
Awesome. I mean, you actually really good poker face, because I actually didn't think you enjoyed it.
There you go.
So I'm surprised. I'm surprised. I don't know, but yeah, I loved it. I thought it was a lot of fun. Production note: Riley, Dylan Playfair, he had a broken hand in this episode. He hit it well through most of the scenes. But in the last scene, when he's slow dancing with somebody, you can see his hand is wrapped up in gauze or whatever. So I think he had like a broken finger or something. But anyway, a great episode. Really, like from the cold open onward, so much fun. Lots of great scenes. Again, it's one of those episodes where all the factions come together and they're with each other and they're reacting to each other, and that always makes for a lot of fun. I especially love the scenes at the DJ booth with McMurray, with the Skids, and with Dickens. Those were so much fun to watch.
You know what they were missing? What they could have added to this was the priest marrying
Glenn.
the guy. Yeah. That would have made it fun. Pasture, whatever.
Pastor.
That would have made it just like that much more.
It's interesting that Glenn isn't in this, because there's an obvious in there where he could have been the officiating the wedding. So for sure.
And he could have flirted with the grooms, and that could have been like another level to this.
Maybe they didn't have time. Maybe they had something written and they didn't have time for it. I don't know. Victor, what'd you think?
Yeah, I thought it was pretty much flawless from beginning to end. What a great start to another season. Aside from ostracizing all the city folk by generalizing them as douchebags, I thought that it was a flawless episode. It was hilarity from beginning to end. It was a great cold open. I agree. Like the killer scene, it was definitely that DJ booth. But everything about it was fun.
Mm-hmm.
So I really liked it.
Matt?
Oh man, you guys are gonna be mad at me.
Oh, shut up!
Fuck off! Really?
So
he's toying.
Is he? Is he?
He is.
So let me. Okay, there's a couple. So the cold open I thought was fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
I thought everything before the wedding was really good. I really enjoyed it. I had a struggle with a lot of the wedding. There was the McMurray to me saved the whole thing because I thought his lines. I mean, I wish you had the clip from his first, in which I mumbled and made no sense a few minutes ago.
But he mumbled it too. So yeah, that's why I didn't clip it. He made some nonsense about. But both my wife and I burst out laughing when he said that he
one
played
line.
the chicken dance for his chickens, and
yes. I died.
Yeah.
Oh, it was so good, his line, and every moment, and then right down to the cassette. That was so. He just owned that. He was so obsessed over it, and I loved it. The wordplay was fine. There was some good moments.
So what?
I hated their interpretation of the Cidiots. Hated it.
Yeah. So you've taken personal.
No. I come from people who understand this thing.
And you said your own sister-in-law references Cidiots.
So she talks about us in a lot of cases.
But these are caricatures, right? These are them making fun of the Cidiots, making fun of them.
I get it, but my problem was I interpreted it. So they kept saying Cidiots, and yes, they referenced a BMW. That was to me, that was their only call out to the fact that they're from anywhere of money or different. The rest of it just felt like they were idiots from a neighboring town trying to piss off the locals. Like it didn't. They were
degens. They were
degens. Yeah, they didn't feel like city. I don't know a single person from a city ever who sounds. I believe in the term Cidiot. I totally respect it. I didn't believe that is what I would have seen Letterkenny doing for something called a Cidiot. I think their tone was wrong. I think their dialogue was wrong. I know they were making fun of them, but even when they weren't making fun of them, when they were just hitting on the girls, I still felt like it didn't fit for me and what I perceived to be a Cidiot.
So if they called it degen instead of
no,
Cidiot,
it had to be Cidiots though. It had to be Cidiots.
And I get why they did. I didn't buy into that persona that they tried to build.
That's disappointing, Matt, because you know what they were doing.
Wait. I agree with Matt on every single point he's making. I just don't. I'm just scared where this is going. But just Matt, just so you know, and I think you felt it from my comments as well. Like I agree with you 100%. Yeah. They totally blew it with that. It's just the episode still stands up as a great episode. Aside from if let's say you're not living in the city and don't take some offense to that, then do you care, right?
Yeah, and I didn't take any offense. I mean, you can make fun of me all day. I have a pretty thick skin,
but it's
not what this is about.
Yeah. It's not directed to city people.
No, what they're doing is they're taking every stereotype and putting it all on these three guys who value their cars over everything else and think that's the only shit.
That's the only stereotype I took from that. The rest felt.
Where are you staying?
Degen.
Oh, well, there's only one motel in this whole. Like there was. Them talking about like them thinking hicks are only about their cars or their trucks or their 4x4s or the sleds. They made all those comments, but they had to fit it all into a 24-minute episode. So it had to be heightened. It had to be a caricature.
Common denominator. They were degens. They were douchebags, and they did not. It was not a good representation of people from the city.
But simple point is these guys needed to be annoying enough to make them want to break their "we don't fight at weddings" rule in one episode. So there had to be
all that
heightened level of annoying.
I think it's more of a financial statement. Like it's more about people with money versus people with no money, and people feeling that they're better than or bigger than people that don't have money. And I think it's not city versus hicks. It's money versus no money.
Yeah, but I don't know. Yeah, I don't even know if that's true because that wasn't clear. Sorry. I'm not buying what you're selling there.
Yeah, no, I think this is basically more of just a culture clash because I don't think the money thing was really played up.
And the biggest thing there, I didn't feel like they fully came from a different culture. I feel like they literally were like the neighboring town and maybe had a little more money and owned a Beamer, but they still felt the same kind of vibe. They were just assholes. And I didn't buy the Cidiot thing. And Cidiot has nothing to do with money. It's just where you live. Because again, most people go to places where
they're not. Is a money status. It's a status thing. Like I've met those people that are like alligator shoes.
No, I used to work with those idiots.
And they were from the city and they were better than because they had more money than I did.
But they act that way towards other city people. Not, you know what I mean? Like that's not a city country thing.
No. I saw
that's a city thing. That's an anybody those people thing. Like
I saw three guys who thought they were better than everyone in that banquet hall. That's what I saw. It didn't have anything to do with money. It had to do with status or it had to do with culture.
They were three douchebags.
Yeah, they were douchebags.
We can all agree on that.
Yeah.
So I didn't have a problem because they had to be heightened in order to get to whip up the hicks to the point where they needed to beat the shit out of these guys. Anything more toned down and it would have been unbelievable that they had to.
They were just mislabeled. That's all. They were mislabeled.
I disagree. Anyway, let's get to ratings. Tanya, what would you give?
I'm sorry, my apology. What's the difference between degen and a Cidiot?
Cidiot. Well, I mean, a degen's just a catch-all for
anybody can be a degen.
Where do the two live? Like, I don't get.
Degens could be your next door neighbor.
Yeah,
it's true. I can confirm.
Degens are anyone that's like stupid. Like, what's a degen then?
What's the
difference between the two?
Well, a degen is just everything that's wrong with people. They label a degen. Like there's no specific,
degenerate.
Yeah. It's just, they're
If
just
you
a
look at
degenerate.
someone and you're like, and they do something, and you're like, that's all I need to know about you.
Mm-hmm.
This episode would have done just fine if they just used degens.
Degens.
It would have worked just fine. Everything would have been
probably.
just fine.
You're probably right. So that's why it doesn't I don't discount it at all. But anyway, Tanya, your rating.
Hi. I liked it regardless of the Cidiots and what we name them. I liked everything about it. I thought it was funny and 100% fresh.
Awesome. So this episode, I remember the first time watching the show. This episode was the first time. I mean, there were signs that this was a different kind of show leading up to this episode, but this episode sealed it for me. Because I don't know if it was let on earlier that it was Ron and Dax's wedding, but the moment that I heard, oh, they're at Ron and Dax's gay wedding in Letterkenny, I'm like, wow. Like, I found that my first time watching this, it was a big deal to me. And my first time watching this, I'm like, holy shit, Letterkenny is different. It isn't just a show about fart jokes and beating up degens and all that stuff. They actually have something to say, and they're saying it. Like Fart Book was, only on the second viewing did I understand that was like a statement on social media, and I did catch the whole Tanis abortion thing at the time, thinking that was a big deal. But this one here was the first time I'm like, holy crap, this is more than the sum of its parts. Like this, like people compare this show to Trailer Park Boys. I hated the Trailer Park Boys, saw no redeeming qualities in that show. Maybe there were.
It is strong.
Well, I hated it. I did not like it at all. I didn't like any of the characters, anything about it.
Even Bubbles?
Well, Bubbles was fun. And you know what, though? I never took the time to get to know the characters or the storylines.
Oh, okay.
So maybe, but just from what I saw of it,
those are degens.
Yeah. So just what
no, they are.
Yeah.
They're lovable degens.
What I saw of it had no redeeming qualities. This episode showed me that Letterkenny was at a different level than the Trailer Park Boys. And to me, so personally, when I saw him, like, holy crap. So,
you also come from a small town.
Yeah, no, I know.
And we're probably friends with like the first gay guy that came out in the small town.
Yeah, there are lots of things that I can relate to on this show that relate to my upbringing. But I mean, the same could be said about Trailer Park
getting
Boys.
really personal today.
No, but I'm trying to kind of explain why this
was
show,
a big deal.
This episode here was kind of a turning point in my appreciation. Like, I appreciated the show up until now. My first time viewing it as a funny show, and every once in a while there's like some moments where I'm like, but this is the first episode where we're like, holy crap. And then it made me think back to other episodes going, oh, well, that made it gave me a different impression of Letterkenny. This was the beginning of that. So I mean, it's obviously it's 100% fresh for me. I didn't care about the city. They could, like you said, they could have been degens. It doesn't matter. The overall point of this episode and the statement they're making, but also everyone, like all the different factions being together, McMurray. And Dickens and the skids of DJ Booth, all of that was gold. This is absolutely a fresh episode. Victor?
So when I watch television or entertainment, I'm not looking for deep messages. I'm not looking for any of that. So if it has it, great. Good for Letterkenny for that. That's not why I watch Letterkenny. I watch it for its pure entertainment value, and that's why I would never say Letterkenny is better than, let's say, Trailer Park Boys or Corner Gas or other kind of Canadian shows, because they have this message and those other shows don't. And that's just me. Like, but I don't put one show above the other because of those things. I put it for its entertainment value and for its for its creative writing and all that, and acting and all that kind of stuff. So I think those shows have their own followings, and I think they're also great in their own ways. And I don't feel it even needs to be a competition. I think there's not enough great Canadian content out there. I think it's awesome that we have all this stuff.
Agreed.
So let those shows be successful and enjoy their kind of cult followings as well.
I'm not taking anything away from Trailer Park Boys. I'm just explaining why I don't like them. But
so
yeah,
and just
because the Trailer Park Boys is a very successful franchise. They've spawned movies. I'm not going to deny their success.
Cartoons, yes.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I'm not like one of the cult followers of the show. Yeah. I think I've only watched a part of season 1 and maybe a little bit of shows here and there. But I did watch a couple of their movies, and especially I think I mentioned the one where they go to Europe. It's hilarious. I certainly recommend that for anybody to watch that. I think it's super fun. But anyway, so this episode. I like I said, I did take issue with the whole Cidiots thing, and not because I took it personally, just because I just don't like. This show is all about not generalizing and not about bring everybody. And I thought they kind of did that there, and they didn't really do a great job of explaining to us what a Cidiot was, and they didn't really do a good job of getting them to act as Cidiots instead of Degens, and they were acting like Degens, and there was absolutely nothing to tell us that they weren't Degens. So I thought that they totally missed the mark there and should have just made them Degens, and it would have removed any of this controversy. 2, the other thing they blew, as Tanya already mentioned, is how can you not have Glenn at the frickin' gay wedding, even if he's not pasturing the wedding? Then
that's a miss for sure.
Then at least let him be part of the scene. I don't know. I don't care what the excuse was. I don't care, if Glenn had his, but bar mitzvah suit at the cleaners, whatever it was. But I thought that, like, wow, how could you not have Glenn there?
For sure. Yeah.
That he would have been so fun. He would have been so fun.
I agree. Glenn was a miss.
But those things aside, I thought there was enough great stuff in this episode. For me to really, it would be really degen of me to give this anything less than a fresh.
All right. Love it. Okay, Matt. What do you give this one?
Oh, man. So you guys, here's the reality. Everything all of you have said is pretty much right.
Pretty much.
Pretty much right. There was a lot of good content here. There is some good, like, again, I'm still hung up. The McMurray thing made me laugh harder than I've laughed in like that was moment. I don't know. I love him more and more every time I see him.
Just me describing the scene tonight, everyone started laughing uncontrollably. It wasn't even from a clip. It was just me describing what happened. So
I need more McMurray and Dickens in the same.
I know, right?
Oh my gosh,
man! And it's funny because I love McMurray, but the one time I didn't like him was in his own house.
Right? Yeah, in his own element. Yeah.
His own element. I love him anywhere else. He just steals scenes for me. He's great. The cold open was great. The wordplay was okay. There was some good money moments, but yeah, I mean, I'm gonna go back to the Cidiot thing, and again, I take this show and I kind of half agree with what Victor said. I mean, they don't generalize people, but I think they do, but in very characteristic ways. Like they make these caricatures of these various groups that, yes, they're exaggerated caricatures, and I think they're so smart, and I fully feel they missed the mark, like Victor said, on the Cidiot thing. I didn't buy it for a second. I think they could have had way more fun with. They could have done them differently, even the way they spoke. I mean, there are certain things I couldn't buy into it, and it really upset me on the show because they did take up a big chunk. They kept coming back, and they kept coming back. I loved how they took them out. It felt like some kind of mafia hit sort of thing. That was fun. But again, on a show that really does such a fantastic job all the time capturing personas, I feel like this one was missed. And on that, I have to give it a clearance.
Wow,
man. Yeah. It really bothered me. I couldn't connect with them.
Wow.
Victor,
I think this is the
take
first.
your
I'm sorry,
unicorn
guys.
down.
That's disappointing,
train
Matt.
wreck.
I'm very disappointed in you.
Put the train right up.
I will say one thing. Wayne's willingness to basically dangle his sister out as bait is a little worrisome. All it took
was just to get the punch in.
No, I know, but it was, she was the bait. She and Bonnie were the bait.
But whose idea was that?
Victor's changed his background to the train.
It was. That wasn't Wayne's idea. That was Kate.
No, actually, they looked at each other. They nodded. They both came up with the idea at the same time. But yeah. Anyway, we've lost Matt. I don't know if he's coming back. So
he's checking on his bottle.
Yeah, he's going back to look at his bucket.
I'm chasing a moose.
It was bubbling.
All right. Let's see. Let's go to listener comments. I only have one. Well, a bunch of listener comments, but from one listener.
What?
His name is the Shorzy. So this is
That's gold.
Oh man. Here's what he said when I put out the trailer for the last season. He said, "Listen to that chemistry. I could cut the sexual tension between those two with a knife, and the lady host is also great. Maybe I take a break from Riley's mom to romance the stone. Give your balls a tug."
That's pretty good there, Al.
So
it's really good.
So I responded to him on Twitter, "Fuck you, Shorzy," and then he said, "Fuck you, Protostand." I'll bet the only reason you're not doing video is because all of you have a face for radio. Smile for the camera and an angel loses its wings. You two boys and your on-screen relationship would be too hot for TV, tit fuckers. To which I responded, "Fuck you, Shorzy." And then I got a message from Twitter saying that my account was going to be suspended for 12 hours.
Oh my God.
Fuck you, Shorzy.
Oh my God. You shouldn't actually, you have to put the asterisks in with the U and stuff. You can't type it out. You'll get.
Okay, wait a minute. What he was saying was way worse. But anyway, I didn't get suspended. So maybe it was just a warning, which made me gun shy, because then he wrote back. He was responding to he was responding to a post that I was showing off my pedal board to somebody else who was asking about pedal boards. And he said, "Now, doesn't that look like a real panty dropper? I bet your acoustic covers of Neil Diamond are all the rage at the assisted care homes. Give your balls a tug."
Okay, so who is the Shorzy?
I'm like, "Fuck you, Shorzy," again, and I didn't get banned from Twitter, so thank goodness. I hope
maybe they caught on to the joke.
I hope he continues. I don't know who it is. I have no idea who it is.
I
but
wonder if it's the true Shorzy.
No, it's not.
Come on.
That would be Jared Kiso. Can you imagine if Jared Kiso breaks radio silence just so he can
to be Shorzy?
Just so he can shit talk our podcast?
Come
They're
on.
trolling the internet as Shorzy.
If you don't like the public eye, would you not do that? You already have the persona of being the undercover person there of the Shorzy that can say anything you want.
Well,
and whether it's them or some rando, it's well done.
Awesome.
Well, here's the thing. So somebody, the Letterkenny ostrich account got disappeared because they were pretty good. Well, they were pretty good too, and we were having a lot of good back and forths with them. And then one day they were gone. So I don't know if they got banned or...
That was a Twitter shutdown.
Maybe.
I'm sensing some conspiracy theories here.
So I'm wondering, maybe it's the same person and they decided to go with the Shorzy instead. But whoever it is, bless you. That was awesome. It was a lot of fun.
Good job.
The highlight of my week. Let's move on to... I have no really new news this week. So before I play us off, let's get some final comments for this episode. Tanya.
I don't have any. I don't think it was a good episode. Looking forward to the next one, and that's it for me.
All right. My final comments. Yeah, I mean, it was. I love this episode. It was great. I'm looking forward to. Also looking forward to Danny Ellis's interview being released next Monday.
Oh, absolutely.
And everyone's response to that. Hopefully, good. Well, it should be a good response. Nothing bad about it. Looking forward to this season because I looked ahead at the other episode titles and I'm like remembering now. This is a really solid season too. So
don't be saying that. Look what happened to Victor. Don't be like forecasting what it is that's going to
In my opinion,
No.
it's you know what? We didn't do top fives. Fuck. Okay. Good thing I didn't sign off yet. Tanya, does this move anything off your top five?
so.
Really? Not even Fart Book? Really?
I'm going to have another look at Fart Book. I keep on saying that, but I shall.
Fart Book did not ostracize anyone.
Anyway, all right. This is definitely going on my top five. I think I'm going to put it in at number 3. Actually, this is going to be on
spare parts, aren't you there, bud?
Number 3 in my top 5. Victor, does this
No, they blew it by missing a couple of important things in this episode. So it's a fresh, but it's a fringe fresh.
Fair enough. And I mean, it's not touching your top 5, correct, Matt?
Hard no.
All right, Victor, do you have any final comments?
No, not really. I think we spewed it all out already. I think I'm just looking forward to the next episode, and hopefully they got all their kind of rust off in this episode.
All right, Matt, any final comments?
Yeah, no, not really. I mean, I'm looking forward to it. I mean, I took hard offense to that one. That's why I got the clearance. And I stand by it. Listen, I have feelings too. And
at least it was you, not me.
Yeah. As I watch my dog eat some random shit on the ground, it was fun. I'm looking forward to the season. I actually don't remember much beyond this, so I'm sure it'll come back to me as it happens. But I'm really excited because last season was so stellar, and it should be fun. Fun days ahead.
All right. Just before I start playing us off,
and just so Matt is the Tanya of season 5.
Absolutely. Anyway. Thank you, Victor. Thank you.
I will not be focusing on the D though.
Before I play us off, I just want to remind everyone there is a Spotify playlist called the Produce Stand podcast playlist where we have all the songs from all the episodes that we've recapped and reviewed so far. So if you like the music on this show as much as I do, then that's a great playlist to go listen to. I'm going to play us off here with a song from this episode, and it's the only song I could play from this episode. I mean, because it is. The song is Fuck the Pain Away by the Peaches.
This was so lovely.
We had to turn the volume down because the boy was still up last night when we were watching this.
Yeah.
I thought she was saying fuck the tang away.
That doesn't make any sense. And that's all we have for this episode. Next week, we'll recap and review episode 2 of season 5, The Old College Try. If you'd like... I missed my opportunity to get this all in before I hit the post.
You were relying on that big intro.
I was. If you'd like to support the podcast, rate us on iTunes or become a patron. There is a Patreon link on our website or Twitter profile at ProtestantPod. Thanks for joining us. Now we're going to dress up in our most dad suits and have a few shots and do the chicken dance all night long. On behalf of Matt, Victor, Tanya, and myself, thank you for listening and have a great week.
Memories of Two Life Crew.
Right.